Good afternoon. My name is Jian Park.
And Hyun-Sung Yu.
And today we're going to be talking about a very important issue, about domestically abused teenagers. So, let's go straight into the topic. Many may be familiar of this advocation. If you look at it from the height of an adult, you'll never see what a child may see. On the right side, it's what a child can see. You can see the kid has bruises, and in the background there's a message on how to get help from domestic violence. This advertisement was made because some children are so close to their victims, and as I mean close, I mean families, that they don't have any way to get help. And this brings us to our target group, domestically abused teenagers. Domestically abused teenagers are teenagers that are abused sexually or physically in a domestic setting by their parents, siblings, or others. So why did we choose them? Because domestically abused teenagers are socially neglected. They're not in the mainstream society. Most people don't even want to acknowledge that they exist, and no one wants to seem too nosy to look in someone's family. It's an uncomfortable subject, and they have been forgotten. They've been forgotten for mainly two reasons. First, because of South Korean's traditional family structure. South Korea's Confucian culture says that our father is the best. It bans the intervention of society in the household. The ideal traditional man is a very patriotic, dignified husband, a very stern father, and he is the head of the family. If that father believes that for the family's peace, we need to use violence, then that's his choice. Any intervention in society would mean a direct challenge against his paternal power. It's unacceptable. The second is because victims are feared of being abandoned. The guilt they have because they feel that they are the reason for the breakdown of their family brings them to self-assure themselves that their family isn't so bad and that they can cope with this.
So there are several issues that occur in relation to domestic abuse, but we decided to focus on abused teenagers' social struggles and their unusual social behaviors. Normally, when those teenagers are out in real society, they have a hard time settling in as they do not know how to interact or communicate with other people. They are used to being neglected, and their self-confidence has been already dropped. So they will automatically be which will lead them to being a social misfit. The most important thing about domestic abuse is that it is a vicious cycle. Once it starts to go wrong, it will go wrong infinitely. Because we wanted to help those teenagers to be successful in their social life and their relationships, we chose this as the most important issue that we should prioritize to resolve. So, out of 17 goals and 169 targets, the Sustainable Development Goal number 16, Peace, Justice, and Social Institution, the target number 2, and abuse, exploitation, trafficking, and all forms of violence and torture of children is most relevant to the issue areas that we wanted to focus on.
Let me explain specifically about different types of domestic abuse. The first one is physical abuse that most of us are knowledgeable about. Physical abuse is basically hitting someone with physical force, pull tools, and doing harm on them. And also throwing things at someone or strangling them also counts as physical abuse. The second one is psychological abuse, which is threatening using violent words and discrimination to violate the basic human rights. And the third one is a financial threat, which is also a kind of a domestic abuse. Not giving allowance, disgrace of the wealth without agreement, and also having every expense monitored and count as one of the financial threats. The next one is sexual abuse, which has become a very serious problem. Forcing them to have sexual relationships and making them feel disgrace of their sexuality also counts as sexual abuse. The last one is neglection. Indifference and leaving them alone in the danger also counts as a neglection.
When you see the statistics, the emergency center inmates number increased 13 times since 2001. In 2001, there's 724 inmates, and in 2015, there's 10,175 inmates. In 2012, there were 6,403 child abuse cases reported to the Ministry for Health and Welfare. Compared to the previous year, 5.7% increase, and of those, 914 cases recurred. The rate is increasing nowadays too, even though the government operated facilities to treat and help victims of domestic abuse. In the research done by Korean Ministry of Gender Equality and Family in 2013, 1 out of 2 teenagers responded they have experienced psychological or physical domestic abuse. Among students who responded yes, only 10% asked help. 35% of psychological abuse and 20% of light physical abuse, 10% of harsh physical abuse, 8% of neglection, and 27% not specified. The reason why there is not specified is we know that some abused teenagers have difficulty to tell what they have experienced. So there was a cause of no comment. In the extreme cases, they are getting strangled, threatened using knives or scissors, and beaten without mercy.
So what can we do to help them? This is the interesting part. So currently, if someone is caught for domestic abuse, especially in Korea, the laws are not strict. So people are sent to rehab centers, but then after they come back, there's no obvious improvement. Actually, as mentioned in the statistics part, the reoccurrence rate is extremely high. This means the current law system is not working. Therefore, in order to help out domestically abused teenagers, we have come up with several solutions. Let me briefly give you general ideas of what our solutions will be like. So the first solution is medical checkup system. Second, the mentor system. And third, the media influence. Basically, the first solution, the doctor's team, is a tool to search out teenagers who's getting abused through expert doctor's examination. Like many other countries, South Korea, the students from South Korea, they have to have compulsory education systems until like a certain age. So the doctor's team, consisting of doctors from different areas, they visit school on regular basis. So they visit school on like once in 2 months and have like check the students and follow up students. The reason why we specifically brought in the doctors into our solution is that they're experts. And because they are experts, they can spot like small details that normal school teachers or neighbors cannot notice. Important to have close relationship with students. This team of doctors will not change frequently. And while they are doing checking ups, if they discover suspicious students who seems to have who are seeming to get abused in their homes, they have private one-to-one medical checkup systems. So there are several clues the doctors look for when they are searching for domestically abused teenagers. For example, for the physical abuse, there are bruises or scars, or for psychological abuse, the students tend to get kind of anxious and nervous all the time. So after doctors discover abused teenagers, the victims have choice of whether to continue with our second program, which is mentor system, or they are sent to rehab center.
So some people say that how will you be able to solve those extremely personal issues like the conflicts between your families? You won't be able to offer real help. However, we will be there to handle those conflicts little by little between the family members and fill the emotional emptiness between the families. The key to solve this problem is to have a mentor system. For a brief introduction of the mentor program, a mentor program is a system to become families and also the mentors to help teenagers suffering from domestic abuse. The teenagers are those who were designated by the doctors who found mental and also the physical abuse, physical scars from the domestic abuse. For the femto's role as a family, they focus on to cover the blank from the families by giving sufficient amount of love, care, and also memories as a replacement for a family. And also, the role of a mentor, we focus on counseling the teenagers and helping to solve realistic problems happening inside the family. The mentors have heartwarming conversation with the teens to solve psychological problems such as during the school life or during the conflicts between the families. And also, mentors can also become objective judges for the conflicts between the family members. They can objectively figure out the basic problems and the major reason for the problems, such as alcoholic father or mother with mental diseases, to connect and to contact them to a rehab center for a cure. Due to this, they can solve realistic issues complaining with domestic abuse. And also, there are plenty of benefits for being a mentor. They are mostly college students who meet and also the graduates who majored in education and psychology. They have to go through several strict processes to apply for this program as a mentor. The qualities that we require are the dedication and our hope, and also the basic capacity to control over the kids. They can earn great experiences during this program and have pride for volunteering the kids who need for their help. There will also be policy to approve this program with the same benefits of internships to help them have privilege when writing resumes for a job.
Now, our last solution is to cooperate